Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seeds of Success. My name is Dottie San Martin, and with me is co-host Jay Nephew. Hey,
Hey,
Jay.
hey, Dottie, how you doing today?
I am great. Well,
What do
Jay,
we have on tap?
it's that time of year where there's a lot of events coming into the bowling center, and today we're going to talk about turning an ordinary fun event into an extraordinary event, or one that I like to call an insta-worthy event.
Insta-worthy. Now you know you've made it.
Insta-worthy. You know you've made it big time when you make it to Instagram. And
Yeah.
it's really as simple as paying attention to the tiniest of details. And that's how you start to get that reputation. And then you become that go-to center when it comes to having a wow event. So it's really, as I said, it's a matter of paying attention to some of the tiniest details. And Jay, can you start off by sharing with
Yeah,
our viewers one of those
sure.
details that we
I've
sometimes
got a few. I've got a few.
okay.
So I'm going to start off. Like the first thing I think you can do to help make that go to the next level. One of the easiest ways to do it is to request like names and shoe sizes in advance, or via one of the forms that you can make a pre-form. You know, when people are waiting in line, they could put all the names and what size shoes they want right there. You could do it on email in advance, but that right there is something just so simple that then when the guests do get to the register or are ready to go to the lane, you just simply send them on their way and you deliver the shoes to them. Or maybe the shoes are waiting for them at the end of the counter. Your group shoes are right over here. Help yourself and you can go on to your lane. There's so many ways to do that, but it is a small detail and it makes a big difference.
It absolutely does. And then that way they can start right away and not have to get bottlenecked at the front desk giving everybody their shoe sizes. So that's
Mm-hmm.
a tiny detail that we often overlook, and certainly we can let our customers know in advance. Another thing that is interesting and really is a detail that sometimes gets overlooked is many times when events come into the center, they have door prizes that they want to give
A
away,
lot of
or
times, yeah.
something that they want to give away, especially this time of the year with the holidays coming up.
Yeah.
And instead of just putting everybody's name in a hat and drawing it, that's kind of womp.
Yeah, it's very
Best
want.
way to do it is to offer them one of your special features within your system that they can make it fun to give away those prizes. So it can be totally based on chance, like Lucky Train or Lane Lotto,
Or magic
or
wheel, whatever.
yeah,
If it's the
or
appropriate audience.
absolutely, or Christmas, the Christmas wheel or
Christmas
the
show,
birthday
yeah.
wheel. Or if you want to base it on skill, you can, do it something like
Like a
Stripe
striker, yeah, I was just going to say
or
that.
even red pin. I mean, there's a lot of
Oh,
ways
yeah,
that you
red
can
pin
do
too.
it. But to do it in a fun way instead of drawing your name, it's always fun to hear your name, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But to be able to feel like you were the lucky winner, that's kind of fun. So
And
that's another way.
I'm just going to add to that because for the large groups, sometimes you have 100 people that you're hosting an event for. The beauty of using the system to give the prizes away is you can print a report and see who won them without having to keep track of it all the time, and they can be distributed after the fact.
That
Even
is
more of a wow factor for the organizer to be like, oh, I don't have to keep track of all this. So beautiful.
that is so true. That is so true. So that's another detail.
Well, I'm going to go along with that because
Okay.
along with giving the prizes away that way, maybe you give them a prize of their own to take home, and that's in the form of a bounce back coupon, right? We should be bouncing back our large groups with some type of offer. It doesn't have to be free, but some type of offer. Give them something that's valuable and put that value proposition squarely on that coupon so they go, oh, I've got to come back and take advantage of this. So that's a great way.
And they're going to bring their friends, they're going to bring their family. So it's a great way to expose yourself, your center to others as well. Speaking of thank yous, another thing that sets you apart, and it's a tiny detail that will absolutely have the organizer of the event blown away. In fact, I've even had organizers call back to say, thank you for the thank you, but is to send the organizer a thank you note. And if you really want to knock their socks off, handwrite it.
Handwrite it. Amen.
People just don't do that anymore. So
you don't get a card in the mail with handwriting on it anymore. It just doesn't happen that often, unless it's your aunt, in California who sends you that.
that's right. And it makes a mental impression. And that's something that, as I said, people, and if you really want to take it over the top, add a $5 Starbucks coupon and or gift card and say thanks a
Thanks a
latte.
latte.
Yes. Yeah, that gets a reaction.
It does
So
get a reaction. Well, you know what else you can use too that gets a reaction is the scoring grid or the custom welcome screen. If this is a group that is like the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts or, you know, XYZ Corp, you can take their logo and put it right up there on their welcome screens. As they come through the door, they see it across the whole center or across all their lanes. And then furthermore, take it even deeper and make a custom scoring grid with their logo. You know, just make sure the contrast is right and it's pretty faded in there so that the score shows up nicely. But those two things alone, they wow everybody.
absolutely they do. And you know, another thing that you can do, another detail, a tiny little detail that many times gets overlooked, is to take the time to prepare your staff. Take that 15 minutes before the event comes in and give them that, you know, it's almost like a little pep rally. It was one
Pep
of my
rally, I was
favorite
just
parts
going to
of,
say that.
yeah, it's a fun time. But take a look at your staff. Make sure that their presentation is great. Make sure that they understand that you expect them to smile and converse with the customers coming in. You know, and make sure that they're putting their best foot forward. But more importantly, share with your employees that your customers are coming in to have fun, and it's time for them to have fun too.
They need to join in on that. Yes, yes. That was
Absolutely.
always a
It
thing I used to
shows.
say to my employees. Look, if you don't have a good time doing this job, we don't need you because we are in the business of fun. So we need to have as much fun as our customers do while maintaining our professionalness, obviously.
That's right. So take that 10 or 15 minutes for what I call a pep rally. It's a lot of fun. It's fun for me. So I know the employees enjoy it too. So
You get your pom poms out. Well, you can
that's right.
also have that pep rally approach when people come through the front door. You can greet them at the door and say, "Hey, thanks for coming to my bowling center. Appreciate having you here." It doesn't have to be fancy, and it doesn't have to be very Walmarty either, with like just a greeter standing there. Make it genuine, make it real. That goes a long, long way for a first impression.
You are so right.
And then you know what else goes too is we talked about this at the beginning of the segment about requesting the shoe size and whatnot in advance, but don't make your guests ask for help. You can assume when they're going to need services throughout their guest experience many times. So why don't you put your employees in the position of anticipating that guest help needed and asking them, how can I help you right now? Pay attention. Are they all gathered around the super touch and it looks like they don't know what they're doing? Walk up to them and go, hey, do you guys need a little help setting this up? It's those little details that go so far, like you said, into making that proper impression and turning just a regular visit into something that they're going to go home and say, these people were awesome. They were like so much fun and helpful and we had a great time.
Yes, and Jay, that's a good point to make when you're bringing in new party hostesses. That part of being a party hostess is making sure that you are, if there's a dead ball, that you're on that before the parent or the organizer has to say anything. So make sure that you let your staff know that that's an expectation as well.
Well, you know what? We learned a lot today with some of these great points that we've made. It's time to review what we've learned.
So let's take a look at a few things that you can do to turn ordinary events into extraordinary ones. Get names and shoe sizes in advance so the fun can start right from the beginning. Distribute prizes in a fun way. Don't just draw the names out of the hopper. Use thank you bounce back coupons. This is a great add-on for events. It adds value and it brings customers back to the center. Send the organizer a thank you note. And if you really want to take it over the top, make it a handwritten thank you note. Utilize custom welcome screens and scoring grids. This will create a very unique and personalized event. Prep your staff and encourage them to engage with the guests. Encourage the staff to just have fun, just like what they're providing for the guests. Personally greet the guests as they're entering the center. Start the event off on a very pleasant and personal note. And last but certainly not least, don't wait for the customer to ask for help. Give them the help before they ever even have to ask.
Those are some great points we've made today. Thank you for recapping them, Dottie. You know, it's pretty easy to turn ordinary events into extraordinary events when that's your focus, right?
Absolutely. And you know, by delivering delivering extraordinary experiences, that's a mouthful.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Your center will actually get that reputation. And when customers are in the market for having an event, they're not going to think twice about who to call, because they have the confidence of knowing that you're going to deliver a wow experience or an Insta-worthy experience each and every time. So thank you all for joining us today, and we hope that you will grow your business one extraordinary event at a time.